Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is June already. I am Frank.
And I'm Mark.
Welcome to the show. We have a lot to talk about. As usual, a couple of quick announcements. We're going to talk about the box office, which is really way off. We're going to go right down the list, and while we're mentioning about the box office, we're going to have our reviews mixed in there. And then we're going to mention some of our favorite Pixar movies. Finding Dory is going to do huge this weekend. Already they're predicting it's going to be $140 million by the end of the weekend. It's non-holiday. There's nothing really special going on, and that's really surprising a lot of people. And of course, the next big movie is going to be Independence Day. And then everything is going to be crapshoot. We're going to be talking about that. And then some of the movies coming up for the rest of the year. We're going to go over that real quick. So let me get to the announcements, okay? As you know, we are, in the past couple shows, we showed a little bit of what we have, okay? A couple shows ago, we showed our website, videolandexpress.com. That has links to a blog, and also has little mini links, little icons, which takes you to Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, okay? So you want to, maybe you want to check that out. And then also, it also takes you to a link to a blog page, okay? I think 2 shows ago we did the blog page, and in the last show we show you a YouTube page.
Yep. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and view as much as you can, and also tell your friends to view too, please.
Yeah, we need the hits, okay?
I'm counting on you guys.
Yeah, so what you call it? Every show, if you miss the show, what I do is between Saturday, Sunday, and Monday when I post it, I edit in case I need to edit or fix the sound or whatever, and then it gets loaded up to YouTube. It takes like a whole day process to do it, you know. But anyway, so on Monday it gets posted. So you have the website, you have the blog, okay, and then you have a YouTube page, and then I belong to all these other social networks, okay, which is on our main website. But also, we have a widget for the radio show, Black Talk Radio, okay? I installed a new system with the headphones and everything. I did some test runs, so if you go to a blog page, it's videolandexpressblogspot.com. The direct link is on the website. And there's a couple of widgets. We showed that on the previous couple of shows. You go to our shows that have been posted on YouTube. You can find it there. The reason we're not showing it too much anymore, they kind of changing things around where the engineer used to post things and help us show that. Well, the engineer, what he does now is sets it up and goodbye. So we kind of own. So if something goes wrong, that's live, folks. But anyway, yeah, so we have widgets for the Block Talk Radio Show. Me and Mark are developing another radio show, which is a direct spin-off for this one. The other show I do solo. And so we're working on that. Hopefully, when we come back on July 4th weekend, we can make that announcement. And of course, the widget for the Black Talk Radio Show, which is a solo show. I did promise I'm going to do my Godzilla special. Gojira is coming out in July. Unfortunately, it's not coming out in the U.S. So I decided just to release it in Japan, and then release it over here maybe September, October on Blu-ray. Boo! Of course, the other big one is Independence Day that's coming out in July. The main reason I mentioned this because they're coming out with these new 4Ks. Remember the Blu-rays? They're turning it into 3D. Well, that kind of tanked. 3D TV, that's out. So now Sony came out with a new gimmick called 4K. And they just released this on 4K. And basically, the movie, the 4K can only hold the movie. And what they include was the Blu-ray with all the special features, which makes no sense. Remember when they had the Blu-ray first come out? And then, well, when they had the DVD come out, like for Star Trek. Good example, Wrath of Khan. They re-released on 4K. When they re-released on a director's cut on DVD, it had the DVD plus the bonuses was on a second DVD because there wasn't enough space. Now with the 4K, it's supposed to be more advanced, more technical enhanced, but unfortunately, it doesn't have any room for the special features. So they released the movie on the 4K and all the special features on a second disc, which is Blu-ray. I know, completely idiotic, okay? But I mentioned Star Trek because I'm going to be doing a Star Trek, the best of Star Trek TV shows and movies and stuff like that I like. That'll be in the Black Talk Radio. That'll be a special in July, along with the best of Godzilla. Okay, so that's what's going on with Black Talk Radio. Now, let's go on with the top 10 list in the box office. What's happening is, I'm going to go over some numbers real quick. we didn't get a chance to see Finding Dory. Okay, I love the Finding Nemo, so I know I'm gonna like this one either way. So my review ain't gonna matter. You're with the kiddies, so
I think the kiddies are going to love it. I didn't see it either, but it's a kids movie, and they always do well.
right.
Yeah, how can you compete against that? It's like it falls under the umbrella of Minions and all the other Finding Nemo, and you just can't compete against Walt Disney and children's shows and children TV movies and the likes. You just can't compete against.
You can't compete. Okay, so I was going to go in the box office. Let's do a favorite Pixar. Now, are you a big Pixar fan?
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite Pixar movies, and which one you think was the most disappointing?
I think my favorite Pixar movie would be Toy Story.
Okay.
And from the...
I can make that down.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And I think from the most disappointing, I may get it confused. Maybe it was Disney. I think it was called Box Trolls.
Well, no, that's Disney. That's not Pixar.
Okay, right. But I thought the Disney bought up Pixar.
Yeah. Well, what they do is Pixar is its own company that produce these movies, but then as a release, the distributor is Disney.
Right.
So Box Trolls was released under the
okay.
Disney canon, but it was made within the Disney factory. Pixar is a factory that rents out Disney.
Wow.
Let's put it that way.
It's confusing.
Yeah. Well, it's like Marvel is Marvel, right? We all know that. The MCU, Marvel Comics Universe. Okay. And Sony, of course, has X-Men, and 20th Century Fox has Spider-Man. Right? Okay, so those are three different factories. But when they went to do Civil War, Disney, who owns all of the land, okay, the thing of Game of Thrones, okay, we have Warner Brothers with DC, we have 20th Century Fox with X-Men, we have Sony with Spider-Man, but Disney owns all the land. And Disney decided, we're the ones owning the castle of Marvel, okay? They went to the castle of 20th Century Fox and say, you will give us Spider-Man because you screwed up that merchandise. And we're going to take Spider-Man and we're going to put it in Civil War, or we're going to burn down your castle. Basically, that's what happened with that, okay? And it's more technical, but to make it user-friendly, Disney said, we want Spider-Man. And, And Sony said, shut up, give us the Spider-Man. That was the end of the conversation, okay? Now, maybe I'm going to be going back to this point, though. It's because X-Men is not doing good. It hasn't cleared $500 million. Don't be surprised. Disney nuts. And the castle door said, hand over X-Men. I'll get more into that. But going back to Disney and Pixar, so Pixar is its own little castle. And Disney said, you're not going to release it at 20th Century Fox, Paramount, Warner's, or Sony, or whoever. We in cahoots with Marvel, and you guys Pixar in cahoots with us. So you give us Finding Dory, we spend the money in the marketing and the distribution, and then we split the box office. Basically, that's what that is. Okay. So going back to favorite Pixar. Okay, I wrote this in chicken scratch, and I need my glasses to read this crap that I wrote. So don't mind me. My favorites, and it just has to be a subject matter, okay? Wall-E, because it's science fiction. Finding Nemo,
that's good.
Underwater. Ratatouille, a rat in the kitchen. I mean,
that's gross.
I know, it's so gross.
Disgusting.
But it's funny. The way they handled it, I think, was...
I'm surprised no hairs fell all over the food and the soup, and then they called the health inspector, and, excuse me, it was France, so who knows?
Ouch.
Maybe it's extra for rat hair in your soup.
Oh, boy, so much for touring France. Okay, Monster Incorporated, because all kids have bad dreams, right? But we love monsters, okay? Invincibles, why there's no Invincibles 2? I mean, maybe
they wrapped up the whole story.
No, they left it open at the end for a sequel. There was a couple of hints there, and they wanted to revisit.
Wow.
Now, the way the 20 years and all this superhero thing is happening, to the point where Marvel, Samuel Jackson, he played the Iceman, the Silver Surfer Iceman, right, in the movie?
Right, Iceman. Sort of like an Iceman character.
Right, and then what happened? Well, he went to do Nick Fury and Marvels. And the Avengers, so that makes no sense. And but instead, what they wanted to do was go ahead and make another Cars sequel. I was never a fan of Cars. Actually, I like Cars 2 better because they go to different countries. That's the only angle. Cars 1, I thought was overrated. before I get to that, skipping ahead, Toy Story trilogy. My favorite out of the trilogy is the second, and a little affection to the end because I like the endings that when Andy walks away, say thanks guys for my childhood. I think that was really touching. Another one that's really nice was Up with the old man with the balloons. That had a good heart.
Yeah, it was great.
The Woods 2, Inside Out. I thought it was rated. I don't know why you get Academy Award for for best an Oscar for best animation. And Brave, the spoiled little redhead, the little gingerhead, spoiled little brat. She turns the mother into a black bear.
Yeah, which is hysterical.
I hated it.
But that was hysterical. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, you like that? I thought the whole movie sucked. That's got to be the worst Pixar. Sorry, I'm not. Okay, I know it's supposed to be a female heroine, but we got Wonder Woman.
It's a kids movie. What you can expect?
Okay. Anyway, so as far as Pixar movies, those are the best. So your favorite is basically Toy Story trilogy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the last one with the bear was the best. I felt.
Really? You like Brave?
Yeah. No, I'm saying where they had in Toy Story 3, where they had the bear, where they fought against the bear.
Oh yeah,
in Toy Story 3.
Yeah, what was it? The teddy bear. He winds up at the end. He gets stuck in front of a truck.
yeah. They save his life, and then he turns around, and doesn't even help them out at all.
Right.
And then he gets his just dessert. They put him in front of a truck.
The grill in front of the truck. I thought that was good. That was a good ending.
Yeah.
A very underrated movie. I got to mention that
Yeah.
Pixar. One is called Bug's Life. At that time, Pixar was getting up and running, and it came out at almost the same time, the same month as another movie called Ants.
Mm-hmm.
Ants with a Z, and that starts Sylvester Stallone as the big macho ant, and his friend there, played by Woody Allen. Believe it or not,
Right.
Woody Allen did a little animation feature. It's called The Bug's Life. I definitely recommend that. Really underrated. Mm-hmm. Okay, the graphics, you got to understand the graphics, they were just getting off the ground. This is maybe 15, 20 years ago?
Yes.
Wow, time flies on all these movies.
Yeah. Well, they say CGI gets better every 3 years.
Right, okay, so that movie was called Ants, and that kind of hurt the box office of Bug's Life. Bug's Life, I think the villain was played by Gene Hackman as the main grasshopper. So I definitely recommend Bug's Life. I forgot the other voices. I think Roddy McDowell, a lot of all-stars were doing it. But as far as the Pixar,
I think Christopher Walken was a bad guy in Ants.
Yeah, that's right. It was Christopher Walken.
You can't forget him. When you hear his voice, you'll never forget him.
Yeah, it's like when he did the voice for the big bear in Jungle Book.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
Right.
Yeah, he was so miscast. Not the bear. What was it? He played the lion, I think. The Black Panther was Ben Kingsley, I think. What character?
Yeah, because they always say something about.
I forget.
They always say something about Christopher Walken. It's an acquired taste, and when they put his voice in certain, what do you call that, animated inspirations like video games, they said it really misses the mark.
Yeah, I mean.
It's just staccato, the way he speaks, and it's long pauses, and people don't know whether or not to laugh or to go along with it.
You know what it is? He's got one of those signature voices that, it doesn't apply to everything, unfortunately.
That's right.
Okay, but now, like I said, we don't have a review for Pixar for Finding Dory. It doesn't matter. It's going to clear over 140 million.
Yep.
It's going to break Minions' record at this point.
Wow.
Let me go back to the box office just for a second, because we're going to have a review for Warcraft, and then we'll take over the reviews there. Civil War was supposed to break the top 10 all-time box office, international box office, should I say. And unfortunately, it got stuck at number number 12, and it's $15 million short to take over Minions at number 11, and needed about another $75 million to take out what was that? Frozen.
Wow, Frozen.
Yeah, and
You can't beat those Disney movies.
I thought
Jesus.
Frozen is one of the worst movies there
Hey.
is, and in Disney catalog.
It was one of
way
the most
overrated.
popular movies for children.
It was most overrated, I thought.
Well, you know, I have always said that the movie theaters aren't for us. You know, it's not for fanboys. It's basically the death of fanboys. It's basically going to be to the level we're just going to get all pushed out, and it's just going to be theaters for kids.
Well, that's why everybody's going over to streaming video. You
Yeah.
know, there's over 400 shows being produced in New York City alone. Okay, and they're all going to cable. Yesterday, I did everybody knows I do background work. I'm an actor background, and NBC picked up Shades of Blue, and Ray Liotta, who was a big star back in the 80s, he went to TV. Jennifer Lopez, who did a lot of movies, she went to TV.
Yeah, because that's where the money is nowadays.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to put any money towards movies because they're afraid that if these movies tank and they put too much money, it's sort of like they build this castle that's worth maybe $300 million. And if they can't make $1 billion, it's all of a sudden, it's a big failure.
Yeah, I mean, Shades of Blue, they
ridiculous.
they had over 30 giant trucks. I thought it was going to be a major motion picture.
Wow.
And I knew it was filmed in the neighborhood, but they were going on by the name of Millie. It was a code. They said, do not park here. We're filming a movie called Millie. I said, okay, well, the next thing I got a call from the agency. It said, we want you to be on the show tomorrow. And next thing I know, so it's not Millie, it's the Shades of Blue. They were filmed at the South Street Seaport. But it was one hell of a major production. Usually TV shows, you see a couple trailers, a couple trucks, for the equipment and stuff like that. This was like a huge production. They're putting a lot of money behind these shows. And, it's a reflection of what's going on with the box office. Let me just go back. What's it? I'm trying to remember because I forgot to write it down here. Civil War is stopped at number 12. Minions is still on number 11. And then what's next is Alice. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. What I just mentioned? Minions and Iron
Frozen.
Man. Frozen, right? I'm sorry. I had number 10. It is Iron Man 3. Number 9. It is
Iron Man 3.
Frozen.
That was awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Iron Man 3 was terrible.
I thought it's the worst.
The worst.
The worst Marvel comic up there, up in the top 10. Okay, Civil War could not beat it. That's the point I'm trying to make.
The best one was Iron Man 1, and then after that, it just started going bad.
Yeah.
From Iron Man 1, it just went terrible. I even forgot what Iron Man 2 was about, but I know. Iron Man 2 was where he fights this Russian for no reason. I think his name, who uses
Whiplash.
Whiplash. It was awful.
Even Mickey Rourke said,
Oh my God.
He said that even the role sucked. He knew the movie
was
was going to
terrible.
suck. I mean,
It was
he was
terrible.
in the movie. He was saying this movie sucks.
He probably was saying that while he was filming it.
Yeah, he did. He said this movie's gonna suck. Okay, he says this movie's not helping my career out.
So for all you fans who said that Iron Man was better than Batman versus Superman, it's not true.
No.
Only the first one was great because no one expected what was going to come out of that. Robert Downey held that movie together because they said they didn't even write a script for it.
Yeah.
They said most of the actors didn't even know what to do. They didn't have a script. They told them to improvise, and a lot of them were just like had their hands up in the air, and they were just like, what do we do? And Robert Downey, since he was like, I'm an old hat at this, and he just basically ad-libbed a lot of his scripts, and everybody was like, they didn't know what to do because they didn't know what to say because they were all shocked because they're not used to speaking without someone writing down their lines.
As a matter of fact, that's why he got along so good with Guy Ritchie for the Sherlock Holmes movies. He's great with an English accent, but a lot of the stuff was improvised, especially all the comedic stuff when he's lying in the bed, handcuffed. They said, I've done a lot worse. That's all improv that he does. He was supposed to do Gravity with Sandra Bullock, and then he wanted to improvise the lines. He thought the lines could be better. And
You're probably right.
Yeah,
because I think he is an improvisational actor. He was on Saturday Night Live for a while.
Yeah. So he knows. Yeah, that's live. That's like on Broadway, being in front of the camera, live on stage and stuff. So you got to be really smart on your feet and ad-lib at the last minute.
But it could flow and it could sound natural.
But what was it? Alexandro Kuzan, I believe, who did Gravity. He would not hear it. He said you got to stick to the words I've written on the script, and they gave it to
George Clooney.
George Clooney. And the funny thing about that was there was a scene they didn't know why is he coming back? How we're going to present this? And George Clooney came up with the idea and said she's having these flashbacks, and that's why she feels guilty. And she's having a nightmare, and that's why George Clooney shows up at the end of the movie, near the end of the movie. You ever seen it? I don't want to spoil. For those who know what I'm talking about.
To say spoilers.
Right. So he shows up. It was George Clooney who came up with the idea. So that script wasn't perfect to begin with, you know? But that's a little bit of movie making.
Yeah, because in writing, when you write down something in a book, it doesn't sound natural. It's a book. It's a script. Sometimes you need somebody like an improvisational actor to come in and give it some fluidity, to come in there and make the lines flow. Because sometimes people don't speak like they do in a book.
No, exactly.
They're just too robotic.
Okay, let me finish with the box office because he's going to do the review of Warcraft. I gave it 3 out of 5. I thought it was too long, but I did like the kick-ass ending. He's going to go more details because he knows Warcraft better than I do. But anyway, what's happening is real quick. Okay, now Central Intelligence is going to make $30 million. Conjuring 2 got its fans going to clear $70 million. That's a good profit. Yeah,
and it's low budget too.
Yeah, it only cost $10-20 million. So Now You See Me is only going to clear $40 million since it opened up. That's a bomb. Why? Because the movie cost over $160 million to make.
Don't spend too much money on a movie. Rule number 1.
Now, Warcraft only made $35 million. Over here, it tanked, but China is saving it. So we're going to get a sequel.
They probably love it in China.
Yeah, but that's going to affect. China's going to love Finding Dory. That's why Finding Dory is going to break the $1 billion mark.
Right.
Like I said, Civil War could not clear the top 10 internationally a hit, and it couldn't beat Iron Man 3 at number 10, and it couldn't beat Frozen, and it's still about $15 million behind Minions, for crying out loud. So something's wrong there.
It means you need another Minions movie.
We're going to get the Secret Life of Pets. That's coming out in a couple of weeks. Those are the guys who made Minions. That's going to be a big hit. Turtles. It's not since it came out. It hasn't even cleared $100 million. So altogether, only made $70 million of this weekend. That's a bomb, and it's not doing good internationally.
How's it doing in China?
It tanked.
Okay.
Okay. X-Men. It tanked.
Oh, I loved X-Men.
X-Men has only made clear $150 million since it came out. It should have cleared over $250 million by now, and in China only cleared $100 million. If a picture cannot clear over $100 million in China, it's technically a bomb.
Wow.
So Warcraft only has made $35 million since it came out over here. So technically in the U.S. is a bomb. Not according to China. China is clearing at least $250 million since it came out. It's going to clear about $400 million. It's close to breaking the other biggest picture over there internationally, American made, and that's Fast and the Furious 7.
Dang.
So Warcraft is up there. We're going to get a sequel.
All right. So that probably means we're going to get 2 more.
He wrote it as a
trilogy, huh?
Right. This is who's Duncan Jones. He's the director who did Moon, which I recommend. A low budget affair, really tight, really good, great performance. Talk about Iron Man 2, Sam Rockwell, who was in there. He's in this one. He is David Bowie's son, and he tried.
Sam Rockwell is David Bowie's son?
No, Duncan Jones, the director.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know.
And what you call it? He finally got a hit, Warcraft. He got another original picture that's been sitting on the shelves for 10 years. They don't want to make it. They're gonna reboot Stargate. They're gonna reboot a whole bunch of other movies, and Duncan Jones cannot get an original movie made for over 10 years. That's why I'm glad he screwed the companies. He got a big hit with Warcraft. Now,
congratulations.
Your review. Let's do a review on this here.
I'll do it real quick. Warcraft was a big CGI film. It was great. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say that it was the best movie in the world. It did have its slow parts. I don't want to do too many spoilers. It sort of has a slow build, and then it crescendos to a big final battle. The final battle sort of confused me a bit. I don't want to do too many spoilers, but this person dies in the movie. They get killed by another person in the film that didn't really make sense, and then all of a sudden the hero comes in to defend the honor of a death that was achieved in the film, and that made no sense to me. I'm like, if they would have waited a few more minutes, you're saying that the hero could have come in and saved his best friend?
Yeah. That was a little bit. I got a little bit confused.
It completely baffled me. So the movie was a little strange, but it's sort of like it wanted to do a build up like the Lords of the Rings, but it wasn't as good as the Lord of the Rings. But it's still, it still was entertaining. They have your orcs, your elves, your dwarves, your humans. I don't know, your orgs, almost the same characters you would have. Characters like Saruman, magicians, mages. The same thing.
To me, remind me of Game of Thrones versus meets a Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's something like that. We didn't get dragons. We got giant eagles. Well,
they were griffins.
Good. Oh, that's what it was?
Griffins. Yeah, eagles, lions, and birds. It's a combination between an eagle, a lion, and a bird.
That's right. It was at the beginning and at the end.
Right.
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's sort of the same character you saw in Harry Potter, the griffin.
Right. As a matter of fact, believe it or not, I'm going to be mentioning my Godzilla special on the Black Talk Radio for the month of July. Godzilla was supposed to fight a griffin, believe it or not, at the World Trade Center.
Dang.
Film never got made. I'll be talking more about that on the script.
You know how big that griffin would have to be? Then you would think to yourself, how the heck can it fly?
Well, it's Godzilla. Who cares?
No, Godzilla. How's a griffin going to fly?
Science goes after logic sometimes.
Because birds are able to fly because their bones are hollow.
Right.
And these griffins, if they're mythical creatures between a bird, a lion, and an eagle. I can understand the eagle part flying because its bones are hollow, but the rest of it, it's kind of confusing to me.
I mean, Godzilla fought the smog monster, a big pile of shit. So, I mean, logic goes out the window. Does it really matter? Anyway, I'm Frank.
And I'm Mark.
Anyway, you're watching Videoland Express. We will be back in July 4th weekend. We'll be live in 2 weeks. We see you then.
July 4th.
And then enjoy Independence Day. When we come back, we're going to review that movie. And then we go through the rest of the movies. That's it, folks. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody.